Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back to talk about all of the fragrances that I wore last week. So as always, I'm going to jump right in because I have quite a few. So the first fragrance we're going to talk about is this one here. This is Lancome Miracle. Oh, this is such a beautiful, just easy to reach for, very clean, kind of slightly woody fragrance. I love it. I love it so much. It takes me back to like the early 2000s because I remember when this came out, it was everywhere. Everybody wore it. And yeah, it's definitely got that early 2000s smell to it. It's kind of like a clean woody fragrance. It's an absolute beast too. This thing will last forever. It's only going to project for the first couple of hours, but after that it wears for hours and hours. I never had to reapply this. I think it finally wore off after about 8 hours, like in the evening, and then I was able to spray on whatever I wore to bed. But yeah, it hung around forever, and I just love it. It's such an underrated little gem of a perfume. One of the only Lancome fragrances that I really, really love. So as far as in their normal line, I love a lot of the Maison Lancome fragrances, but as far as like their just normal fragrances, I don't love many of them, but I do love Miracle. So I've heard that the flanker to Miracle is really beautiful too. In fact, I think I've got a mini of it. I don't think I've ever worn it. So yeah, I'll have to, when I can get all my stuff out of storage, I'll have to test out that mini that I've got. I can't remember what it's even called, but it's the flanker. So anyways, that is Lancome Miracle. Okay. Next, I wore this one. This was one that I wore to bed. I've been really in the mood to wear heavy fragrances to bed. I don't know why. Not that Rose Jam is super heavy, and that is what we're talking about here. Sorry, this is Lush Rose Jam. This isn't an incredibly heavy fragrance, but it's definitely a little too heavy, I feel like, for summertime. I have no idea what is in this. If you look online, it basically just says like rose and citrus. If you look in the ingredients here, it says Pakistani rose absolute, Damascus rose, rose oil, geranium oil, Sicilian lemon oil. Yeah, and that's all it says, but I swear it smells syrupy and maybe even a little bit spiced, but not spicy, if that makes any sense. I don't know, there's something very syrupy smelling about this to me, which is what gives it that kind of heaviness. I love it. It's everything that I love in a fragrance, especially in the colder months. It is beautiful, but I've really been craving these kinds of fragrances to wear to bed, and it's an absolute beast. This one is one that if you spray it on before bed, you are definitely going to still smell like it when you wake up in the morning. It's just a beauty of a fragrance. So anyways, that is Rose Jam, and it is a jammy rose. So the name Rose Jam is very fitting because it is a very jammy smelling rose. And I don't know where all the sweetness is coming from, but it smells like, I don't know, it smells syrupy and sweet and like it could have some vanilla in it, but I don't think it does. So it's really, I don't know, but it's magic. So anyways, that is Lush Rose Jam. Okay, let's talk about I tested a few fragrances that I've been meaning to test. One I just got. This is from the Fragrance Decant Boutique. This is just the original Jessica McClintock fragrance. I just wanted to test this to make sure that I definitely wanted a full bottle of it. I absolutely do. This is a gem from my childhood. My mom used to have this perfume. I used to steal it from her and wear it. It takes me back to the 80s and being a little kid. I love the way this smells. It's a pretty straightforward Lily of the Valley fragrance. It's really strong. I imagine that this thing has been reformulated, but it is still really strong. This can get you through an entire day. I easily got a good 5 to 6 hours out of it, and I think I ended up spraying on a couple other things on my arms just to test the next two that we're going to talk about. I ended up spraying on a little bit later. Will last on clothing forever. Whoever I put another order in with next, whether it be Fragrance Nut, Fragrance X, the Perfume Spot, some other sites that I've got carts going on, I will be adding Jessica McClintock to my cart. I love it. It's amazing. It does not smell dated to me at all either. It's definitely stood the test of time. And it makes me really interested in some of the other Jessica McClintock fragrances now that I haven't smelled. Okay, next I tested a couple of these fragrances that I had kept. I did a video on Harmonist fragrances a long time ago, and I had a whole pile of them pulled that I wanted to test before I put them away again. So I've finally started to test them, and the two that I tested are, let's see here, I tested this one, Royal Earth, which I want a bottle of this so badly, I cannot even tell you guys. This is the most stunning iris fragrance ever. There's nothing like, I don't know what it is about it, because, you know, a lot of iris fragrances smell the same. They just smell like this beautiful powdery iris. Some of them, well, I don't want to say they smell the same. Some can be makeup-y, some can be fresh, some can be light, some can be pretty dense smelling. It just depends, but this one is magic. I don't know what it is about this one, but when I sprayed it on my skin, it was magic. It was creamy and warm and cozy, and oh my gosh, I don't want to even waste another spray of this because I want to wear the entire thing, because I don't think I will be getting a bottle of this anytime soon. It's like $185 perfume. They sell refills of it for $125, but I don't have a bottle to refill it into, and I would be afraid that it would go off because I wouldn't be able to get it airtight enough, even if I got another perfume bottle or something, which I could, but again, I would be afraid. So I would really just want a bottle of it, which again is $185. Boy, do I want it in my life though. It is a stunner of an iris fragrance. So anyways, that is the Harmonist Royal Earth. And then against my better judgment, I tested this one here. This is the Harmonist Metal Flower. I should have known with the word metal in the title that it was gonna have this weird metallic note. And it didn't until the deep dry down. And it's a beautiful, fresh, really powerful, almost green smelling rose fragrance, but then in the deep, deep dry down, you get this weird metallic note. And I bet that that's why I left this one out and wanted to wear it, because I bet on paper it smelled amazing, like that beautiful, fresh green rose that I love. And I'm thinking that the metallic note didn't come out on the paper, which is why I wanted to test it. But yeah, once I had this on my skin, once it got into the deep, deep dry down, it was very metallic. But it is a stunning fragrance. And these Harmonist fragrances, you guys, the quality is incredible, but you're gonna pay for it for sure. So anyways, that is the Harmonist Metal Flower. Beautiful. I wore this guy here. This is Kuumba Made Vanilla Musk. This is a beautiful white musk with a yummy, like bakery style vanilla. So it's this sweet, yummy, gourmand vanilla, but with this gorgeous, clean white musk. It's stunning. It's a beautiful oil. It just doesn't perform well at all. You can get maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours out of it before you would have to reapply. But I love it. I enjoyed it for a little while, and then I sprayed something else on. Yeah, actually, we'll talk next about what I sprayed on after this. It was one of those days where I just wanted to wear a whole bunch of different perfumes, so I purposely put things on that I knew were gonna wear off quite quickly, and this one definitely did, but it is beautiful. If you love vanilla and if you love white musk, I think you would love this fragrance. It's like a clean white musk, but it's kind of gourmand and super cozy and sweet and yummy, and I just love it. So anyways, that is Kuumba Made Vanilla Musk. Next, I wore this guy here. You guys would have seen me when I applied this. It was when I did a Fragrance X haul. This is Azzaro Wanted Girl Tonic. This is beautiful. This is ginger, and it's like citrus and ginger, and I can't remember what else it's got in it, but it does have woods in the base, and I feel like if your skin pulls woods, and somebody did say that their skin tends to pull woods and that's all this smelled like was woods. They said it smelled really bad on them, which I can definitely understand. It didn't smell bad on me, but I don't know. I only wore it the one day. I really need to test this in different conditions and different weather. We'll see what it's like maybe in the cold. It was perfectly fine, but it performed really, really badly on me. I think I got maybe an hour out of this before. In fact, I think I applied it at the beginning of that video, and I think I reapplied by the end of that video. I applied it twice, I think, in that video, because yeah, it just is like poof, gone. It does not stick around at all. So I'm gonna have to play around with this one, and you know, we'll have to see. My first impressions of it, my first wear of it, were that it's really nice, but yeah, we'll see. So anyways, that is Azzaro Wanted Girl Tonic. Oh, I meant to talk about this one next because this is what I put on after the Vanilla Musk wore off. This is a beautiful fragrance called Violet Chai from a brand called Authentically Me. You used to be able to pick or I think a lot of times you can find this brand, or you can find these perfumes at like TJ Maxx and Marshall's. My beautiful friend sent this over to me because she sent me a decant, and I fell so head over heels in love with it that she just sent me the entire bottle, and I love this. There's something about this that reminds me of my childhood. Again, it kind of reminds me of like, there's something about it that reminds me of like dolls and Cabbage Patch Kids, and it's kind of got that powdery doll smell, which is really weird. It's something about the sweet violet and how it's mixing with the spicy chai that give it this kind of powdery doll head smell. I don't know. I am obsessed with it though. It is so good. So yeah, after the Vanilla Musk wore off, I sprayed this all over. This doesn't last very long. It's one of those like, enjoy it for 20 minutes and then it's gone kind of fragrances, which again is perfect for days that you're just wanting to wear a whole bunch of different perfumes, which is what I did this day. So yeah, I love it. It's beautiful. It's very nostalgic smelling for me. It smells very much like sweet dolls and something from my childhood. So anyways, that is Authentically Me Violet Chai. It's a stunner. Okay, next I wore this guy. I picked this up from I picked this up from Fragrance X. This is a little 3.75 ounce or 11 ml bottle of Coty Sand and Sable, and oh gosh, I love this, you guys. This is a beautiful vintage style beach fragrance. It's very much like sweet white florals. Oh, it's so good. It's super vintage smelling and just amazing. Most of us know what this smells like because it's been around for so long. It's such an oldie, but such a goodie. I just love it. It's amazing. I did mention when I hauled this in that video, I did mention that this does have a slight pissiness to it, which, and I mean that very literally. It's got like, and those of you that are fans of vintage fragrances will know what I mean when I say it's got this kind of pea quality to it, which sounds really, really strange. And it doesn't really translate on skin after it starts to dry down. It's just there in the initial spray. And I think it's just got something to do with the kind of more vintage notes and the alcohol, and you get this weird kind of pee-pee note from it. But it doesn't deter me. I love it. It's because it's not pea, obviously. It's just, it's got something to do with the kind of vintage style notes and the alcohol or something. But I love it. Oh my gosh, it's an amazing perfume. Yeah, sadly, this does not perform the way that it did in the 80s. This thing was an absolute beast, nuclear in the 80s. You could spray one spray on and you would be good for the entire day. It's still really, really strong when you spray it on, so you definitely don't want to go to town with this one. I mean, I only did about 4 sprays. I did one on the front, one on the back, and one on each arm, and that was all I needed. It is incredibly strong when you first spray it on, but it does settle down very, very quickly, and then it does disappear very quickly too. I think I could smell it on me. I don't know. I want to say I got about 3 hours out of it before it was just completely gone. So it goes from like you know, really, really strong to the deep dry down and then to dissipating within maybe 3 hours. But I love it. It's amazing. It really does smell like the Jennifer Aniston perfume really does smell like this, but a much lighter and much more wearable version of Sand and Sable. So anyways, that is Coty Sand and Sable. Such a stunner. Okay, and then these last two are bedtime perfumes that I wore to bed because I've just been craving like strong fragrances to wear to bed. The first one is this one here. This is Love Chloe. I don't wear this very often because it's been discontinued. It's really, really expensive and I love it. I love it so much. It's funny, I just saw a review. I just saw somebody say something about Chloe fragrances and how much they hated this one. They hated this perfume so bad. They were like, it smells like powder and diapers and I don't even know what. I'm gonna start, I had this thought, or I've had this idea floating around in my mind because I come across really funny perfume reviews, like a lot. Reviews that make me laugh out loud, reviews where people are like super mad or, you know, just good reviews. And I've thought about like over a period of time screenshotting them and then making a video about it because they're so funny. And as fellow fragrance lovers, I think you guys would find them funny too. So yeah, that's something that I'm working on. It'll probably take a while because, you know, it just kind of happens organically. I come across them. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, that's something that I am planning on doing. But anyways, yeah, I came across a really funny review. Somebody hated this so much. I love it. It's super cozy and comforting. It's slightly sweet, but it is an absolute powder bomb. So if you don't like powdery perfumes, I think you would hate this. But it's a sweet powder bomb. Gosh, I love it. There's something so cozy and comforting about it. It's a beast too. This thing lasts forever on me. It was really, really strong when I first sprayed it on, and then I could still smell it when I woke up the next morning. It's a powerhouse for me. So anyways, that is Love Chloe from Chloe. And then last but not least, and I've got a couple of, this is the last perfume we're gonna talk about, but I do have a couple of home fragrance empties as well. But the last perfume we're gonna talk about is this one here. This is Nest Black Tulip. This was sent over to me at some point as well. I had previously been through a rollerball of this perfume though, so I knew I already really liked it. I love this. This is one of the only perfumes like this that I really, really adore. It's kind of like a dark, sweet floral and patchouli fragrance. And it really is very deep and thick and syrupy smelling. It reminds me a lot of Lancome La Vie Belle, like a lot. But there's something, this one is a little bit sweeter and a little bit less patchouli heavy. This one is way smoother and to me a lot more wearable. And yeah, it's the only fragrance like this that I really, really enjoy. And I really love to wear this one to bed. I feel like it's a super cozy, it's just super cozy. It's really feminine smelling. It's really sweet and very girly smelling and just, it's beautiful. I just love it. I forget about it. And yeah, this is one that's gonna be going with me on my journeys wherever we end up because it's a super comforting one for me. So anyways, that is Nest Black Tulip. Okay, and then I've got a couple of home fragrance empties. The first one is this one here. This is Goose Creek Soothe. This is the eucalyptus and mint scent. I really enjoyed their eucalyptus and mint. It smells very, very similar to the Bath & Body Works eucalyptus and mint. But I really enjoyed this one a lot more. The eucalyptus and mint from Bath & Body Works in the candle form. I don't like the body care at all, like the smell of the eucalyptus and mint body care at all. And their candle is very, very sharp and synthetic smelling when it burns. This one was not. This one was very smooth, and it definitely wasn't as strong as the Bath & Body Works one. This one is definitely much lighter, and it doesn't have that synthetic chemically smell that the Bath & Body Works one has. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed this one much more, and I'm actually glad that I have a second one because yeah, it was a really, really nice one. So anyways, that is the Goose Creek Soothe candle. And then I went through another candle. I went through this one here. This is the Goose Creek World Traveler Italy candle. And this one is Sweet Tiramisu. And this one is super nice. It was just a, oh, and I did want to say, because somebody said that they had, that in their experience with Goose Creek candles, that they were really sooty. And this one you can see wasn't super sooty. Like, I didn't get a lot of soot with this one, but I did with this one. You can see all of the soot on the inside of this one. So yeah, and you can see even on that side of the jar, this one was really, really sooty. So I definitely see where what that person was talking about. You can even see the color of the wax is kind of tinted gray from all of the soot that even got into the wax after it burned. So anyways, yeah, this one is super, super nice. It was just kind of like a pretty nondescript sweet bakery scent, and it was nice. These are definitely not as strong as Bath & Body Works candles, that is for sure. They're definitely like much more tame, definitely not as intense. So anyways, that is the Goose Creek Italy candle. It was really nice. I am burning the turkey one right now, and it's really nice too. But yeah, I would say in general, they're just not as strong as Bath & Body Works candles, which sometimes is a good thing. And it's definitely a good thing if you're just trying to scent one room, like you're not trying to scent your entire house, which sometimes is the case for me. So anyways, guys, those are all of the fragrances that I wore last week and a couple of home fragrance empties. I do hope that you all enjoyed this. Let me know if you guys are enjoying me including the home fragrance empties, or if you don't want to see them anymore, just let me know in the comments and I will definitely do whatever, you know, you guys say you want to see. But anyways, I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.